take away our STI checks. They are trying to leave millions of folks in need at a risk. Right now, it looks like the government doesn't give a damn about our health or our children's health. They need to realize Medicaid and Planned Parenthood are essential for our lives. And if we won't stop fighting, we are here to stand strong and stand together. I say that again. We are here to stand strong and stand together.
Thank you, Silk. That was silky. That was silky. I'll tell you what's not silky is that damn bill. All right, y'all. Again, this is about real people, real impact. This is folks standing up and willing to not only share their stories, but like to take action on behalf of not only themselves, but America. And one of our incredible leaders from, again, one of our amazing affiliates from the Ohio Organizing Collaborative, Miss Jillian Arnold. Bring it for Jillian, y'all! Jillian, what you got?
I know it's really hot out here, so thank you all for hanging in here with me. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak today. My name is Jillian Arnold, and I'm here today not just as a concerned parent, but as the voice for my two vulnerable children, Roman and Stella, whose lives depend on the decisions made by those who have the power to protect or dismantle their care. My husband and I were utterly devastated when at 8 months old, our seemingly healthy son, Roman, was diagnosed with a rare and progressive genetic disease called ASMD. That diagnosis turned our world upside down, especially because just 3 days prior, we had found out we were pregnant with our daughter, Stella. When she was born, our hearts were shattered again to discover she too had fallen into the 25% odds of inheriting this condition. Like so many families navigating the unimaginable, we quickly learned that love alone is not enough to meet the complex needs of our children. We needed help. And that help came through Medicaid. Because of their diagnosis, Roman and Stella are nonverbal, tube-fed, and non-ambulatory. They rely on my husband and me for every aspect of their daily care, from feeding and positioning to medical treatments and therapies. For some, this may sound overwhelming, but for us, this is what unconditional love looks like. We do it because they are our children, and they deserve the same joy, safety, and dignity as any other child. And Medicaid is what makes that possible. Medicaid is not just a line item in a budget. For us, it is a lifeline. For our children, it is a matter of life and death. It's the reason they have access to the therapies, medications, medical equipment, and specialized care that they need, not just to survive, but to have a chance at a comfortable and fulfilling life. Without Medicaid, the burden would be astronomical, emotionally, physically, and financially. Every hospital visit, every therapy session, every home nurse, they are not luxuries for families like mine. They are necessities. They keep my children safe, stable, and progressing at home. Medicaid fills the critical gaps where private insurance falls short, especially for kids with rare, complex conditions like ours. Cutting Medicaid would jeopardize their care and unravel the fragile support system we have worked so hard to build. And let me be clear, we are not alone. Thousands of families across this country live this reality every single day. People who work hard, pay taxes, and care deeply for their children, yet still need Medicaid because our system was never built to handle the true cost of raising a child with special needs. I urge you all to see the human faces behind these numbers. The small victories we celebrate, like when our 7-year-old recently started holding his head up on his own again, thanks to treatments and therapies we could not afford without Medicaid. Or our daughter, when she reaches new milestones because this program gives her what she needs to thrive. These moments are priceless. And they are only possible because Medicaid exists. Cutting Medicaid is not a cost-saving measure. It is a life-altering decision with consequences that will be felt in emergency rooms, special education classrooms, and in the exhausted homes of families already stretched beyond their limits. I am here today begging our leaders, do not turn your backs on the most vulnerable among us. Protect Medicaid. Not just for my 2 beautiful warriors, but for every child who depends on it to live, to thrive, and to have a future. Because when you cut Medicaid, you're not just cutting a program. You're cutting the lifeline of children like Roman and Stella. And that is a line we must never cross. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh. Y'all, we're going to do this. We're going to do this not only for ourselves, not only for our loved ones. We're going to do this for Stella and for Roman. We're going to do this for every single one of us because we matter. We matter. We matter. We matter more than money. We matter more than the political favors of a would-be dictator. We value more than whichever insurance company wants to cheat its consumers. We matter more than every single little thing they could come up with because, y'all, this is our nation. This is our government. These are our futures. These are our lives, and we will stand up and fight back. And now I will bring one of our last community voices, someone that could share from Texas to DC how we band together to ensure we fight for justice, we fight for freedom, we fight for each other. This is I never thought I would introduce a superhero, but here we go. Mr. Thor Armbruster. Come bring it, Thor. What you got? Thank you.
Let's hear it for solidarity. Oh, that's not enough. Let me hear it again. Let them hear it over at that Capitol building. We have the numbers. We have the numbers. This number right here. 8265. I was in the House of Representatives, and they arrested me for the first time, and I was with people that had been arrested 200, 300, 400 times. This is a life and death matter, and we have the numbers. You are the numbers. You are the numbers. And we are the many. And when they introduced me as a superhero, I thought they were talking about my friend here. Dylan.
You're too kind. Hi, I'm Dylan Warren, and I'm from Kansas. So, Medicaid cuts kill, right? Medicaid cuts kill. Medicaid cuts kill. Medicaid cuts kill. I am Medicaid. This is what the face of Medicaid looks like. This is what the face of Medicaid looks like. We are what Medicaid looks like. This is a life and death situation. Let's treat it like one. We have to show up every time. Numbers, numbers, numbers. Show up. We have to show up. This next week is so very important, everybody. We need you to show up. Hands off our Medicaid.
Hands off our Medicaid!
All right, y'all. Now we are about to launch ourselves into a freedom and justice stance. And in order to get ourselves ready, we have, yet again, an incredible friend, an incredible organizer, an incredible leader. This individual, this senator, did not just discover organizing and fighting for freedom yesterday. This individual does not just bring it Monday through Friday and then leaves it home or leaves it in the office come weekend. Here's a leader who has been fighting from home in Atlanta all the way to D.C. and across America for what is right and what is just. And to close us out with a little bit of fire and a whole lot of yes, we can, it is my pleasure to introduce the great senator from the state of Georgia, Raphael Warnock. Thank you, sir.
Well, hello, everybody. Thank you all so very much for being out here. And thank you for your witness in this moral moment in America. We are at a place, we are standing at a crossroads. This is about what kind of country we want to be. We already know who Donald Trump is. The question is, who are we? And what do we want in a moment like this? I don't know about you, but I want a country and a vision that embraces all of us. And so I'm proud to be here with you in this moral moment. I represent the people of Georgia in the United States Senate. And I'm deeply honored that they would send me. You know, it's a real honor for the people of your state to say that since we care about our children and we want the best for them, and we care about our mothers and our fathers as they deal with the blessings and the burdens of aging, because we believe that everybody ought to have health care and every child ought to have a chance. And since all of us can't go to Washington, D.C., we're going to send you. And we're going to trust that in rooms of power, you will remember who sent you there. That you will remember your covenant that you have with the people that you represent. I think about that every single day. But every time I come and speak at a rally like this, I am reminded that long before I came to the Senate, long before I represented Georgia in these halls of Congress, the last time the Trump administration was pushing forward a reconciliation bill, the year was 2017. And I was here not as a senator, I was here as an agitator. In 2017, they were focused on cutting health care. They wanted to kick people off of their health care. You all remember that? They were trying to repeal the Affordable Care Act. They said repeal and replace, but they didn't have anything to replace it with. And I was here that day as an activist pastor of Ebenezer Baptist Church, where I still serve. And we were gathered in the rotunda of the Capitol, praying and singing. It was clergy from various faith traditions all across our country. And the Capitol Police came and they said, pastors, if you don't disperse because you can't sing and pray in this rotunda over here, we're going to have to arrest you. What they didn't understand is that I had already been arrested. My mind and my heart and my imagination had been arrested by this idea that we are much better than this and that the wealthiest country on the planet can afford to provide basic health care to all of its citizens. And so they arrested me that day, and I thought it was a small price to pay. But in the years since, the people of Georgia have seen fit to send this guy who was used to fighting from the outside to work on the inside. And that's what our fight has to be about, y'all. It has to be an inside fight and an outside fight. Are you ready to make it happen? We've got to fight on the inside. And we've got to fight on the outside. Because I live in Atlanta, I get to walk around and rub shoulders with giants all the time. I was John Lewis's pastor. Zernona Clayton, another lieutenant of the movement, who Dr. King, she's short, he used to call her big. She's a member of my church. Dr. King's sister, up until 2 years ago when she passed away, she was always sitting on the second row while I was preaching. Can you imagine preaching in front of Martin Luther King Jr.'s sister every Sunday? But Andrew Young, who's in his 90s, is still with us. Let's hear it for Andy Young. He's been fighting a good fight for a long time. But I want you to hear me today. Andy Young tells me this great story. He says that after they passed the Civil Rights Law of 1964, Dr. King went to see the president. And he didn't go to the president just to say thank you for passing the Civil Rights Bill. He went to the president and said, now what we really need right now is a voting rights bill. He said, my people are not able to vote in the South. And so LBJ said, Martin, I understand what you're saying, but I can't do that right now. I had to expend so much political capital just to get that civil rights bill over the finish line. He said, I don't have the power to do that right now. And so they left the White House. And the staff was feeling all demoralized and dejected. Andy Young among them, they said, Doc, what are we going to do? The president says he doesn't have the power. And Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with a shrug said, well, if the president doesn't have the power, I guess we're going to have to go and find him some. We're going to have to go and give the president the power that he needs to do what needs to be done. And that's why they went to Selma. Selma was the answer on the outside for what they weren't able to do on the inside. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you that I need you on the streets while I'm fighting in the suites. You have to create the context for change. And hear me, and I know you all know this, but you got to spread the word. You have to do it through peaceful means of protests. Otherwise, you lose your moral credibility. You lose your voice. You cannot allow yourself to look like that which you deplore. Isn't it a sad irony that Donald Trump is talking about he may have to invoke the insurrection clause? Imagine that. The insurrectionist president wants to invoke the insurrection clause. But we cannot allow ourselves to look like him, because he is trying to divide us. He is using our military men and women and service members as pawns in a sad and cynical political game. He does not respect the military. How many veterans do we have out here? Raise your hand. I know we got folks who served. Give our veterans a great big round of applause. Donald Trump does not respect our service members. He calls them suckers. He calls them losers. And now he wants to use them in his sad and cynical political game. He wants them to show up on the streets in war gear because he's trying to convince American citizens that we are at war with one another. Well, I've got news for Donald Trump. We are not at war with other American citizens. We are at war against bigotry. We are at war against xenophobia. We are against war against a sad policy that would take food out of the mouths of hungry children in order to give a tax cut to billionaires. That's what we're fighting against. Are you ready to stand up in these streets? Are you ready to fight for health care? Are you ready to fight for human dignity? We need you in this moment. And so tell our young sisters and brothers, they're trying to pull my coat tie. You asked the Baptist preacher to speak. I'm serious. Tell our young activists that Donald Trump wants nothing more than to be able to call martial law. He wants the story to be about police cars burning. Don't burn any police cars. We need law enforcement. Every now and then we got to challenge them, but we need law enforcement. Don't. We must not become like him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because he wants to change the subject. And I don't blame him. What he wants to do is unpopular. I don't blame him for wanting to change the subject. He wants to cut $800 billion out of Medicaid, kick people off of coverage, disabled people, children, the working class. He wants to kick all of them off of health care. He wants to cut $300 billion out of SNAP just to give people like Elon Musk a tax cut. No wonder he's trying to change the subject. But we're going to hold him accountable, and we will not be distracted. We will not be distracted, and we will not be divided. We're focused, right? We're ready, right? We know the work that is in front of us, and we know that it's not about the people in power, it's about the power that's in the people. So stand up today, and stand up tomorrow, and stand up the next day, and stand up the next month, and keep on standing until every child has a chance and every American has health care, and we push toward a greater future. God bless each and every one of you.
Defeated. People united shall never be defeated. Y'all, thank you. Now, huddle up, y'all. You want to know what's going to happen next? I'm going to yell it so folks know. All right. I believe the plan is to make sure that we are nourished. So the team, I want Jaren's raising both hands.